Hi, it's Cathryn Mora. I'm a book coach and I work with coaches, speakers and entrepreneurs to help them write a quality book and use it as a tool in their business and reach readers whose lives they are going to change with their words of brilliance. So as you can see, I'm not in my home office today. I am in Cairns, staying at a beautiful hotel here on the beach. So having a lovely relaxing family holiday. And today I'm going to be talking about self-publishing and its costs. Is it really free? And if not, what are the costs involved? And yes, I already gave away the spoiler. Self-publishing is theoretically free. So you can write a book, you can upload it onto Amazon, bam, you're done. Self-publishing is free, you've written a book, it's online available for people to buy. So from that perspective, it can be free, but the book, if it's not edited properly as an absolute minimum, will probably be of really terrible quality. And if you just stick it up on Amazon, nobody's going to buy it except maybe 3 members of your family and 2 really good friends who are going to tell you then they read it, that they've read it and then they don't. So what you need to do along the way means that there can be costs involved. So let's go through those. So first thing is writing the book. Yes, that part is definitely free if you can get it done. Like anything in life, it takes a lot of time and effort to not only write the book, but to work out the best way to structure your book, the best way to use your book in your business, the best way to write your book in terms of style. All of those things take time and practice. Now, if your time is valuable, then that time isn't free. If you spend 100 hours researching how to write your book the best way and researching the best style and working out do you need to write in first person or third person or past tense or present tense, or should you be writing using dialogue or scenes, or how should you be writing? All of those things take a lot of time and practice, and it's great to get feedback on them. But if you're sort of running blind and doing it yourself and you're doing research, then how much time are you spending doing that? I know myself, I did have someone help me with my book, and it cut down a lot of time, because when I was trying to do my first book myself, I spent probably thousands of hours working out all the things to do. So for me, my time is valuable, so I don't consider it to be free if I'm spending a lot of time. And that's why people obviously invest in a book coach like myself, because we cut down those thousands of hours and, cut through all the noise and tell you exactly what to do and give you feedback. But yes, writing the book can theoretically be free, and that you don't have to outlay cash if you're not working with someone. So that's the first thing. Now, when you're done with writing the book, you need to edit it. I can't stress that enough. Do not put a book online for sale that has not been edited. It is a bad mistake, because there's no point writing a book if it's not quality, if it's not high quality. You don't want to put something out there that has mistakes in it, or that rambles, or that doesn't make sense, or that has grammatical problems, or all kinds of things that can go wrong with a book, because that's going to damage your reputation. So definitely get your book edited. Now, how much is editing? This is a really, really hard question to answer, and I know that's a really irritating answer. And that's because all the editors I work with generally don't like to quote a price. Well, a lot of editors don't like to quote a price, because they're concerned that if they look at your manuscript and they've quoted you one price, that your writing actually might need a lot of work, and they wish they'd quoted more because it's going to take them longer than they thought. Most editors charge on either a per word or a per hour basis. And, it might be 0.03 cents. So like it's basically 3 cents a word, for example, for some editors. I know other editors that are 10 cents a word. So there's a huge variety of editing costs in the market. But quite honestly, if your book is 50,000 words, you're probably looking at, $2,500, $3,500 to edit your book. Now that's to do a developmental edit, which means that they're going to go through and look at structural things and have you left out big chunks of information? Is your reader going to understand it? So it's almost like a devil's advocate view of your book, like, have you considered this? Have you considered that? What about this? You've forgotten about that. Do you have research for that? What's the reader going to think here? You haven't explained it. So a developmental editor will go through and ask all of those questions and really help with your book. Even when you've worked with a coach, because a book takes on a life of its own, you've got to be careful at the end there. You know, it still needs fresh eyes on it that can make your book even better, even if you've started out with quite good quality. Then you've got copy and line editing, which is looking a lot more, people call them different names, but it's a lot more looking at your technical things, spelling, grammar, sentence structure, all the smaller sort of micro level stuff. And then you've also got proofreading. So after you've formatted your book, it's great to have a proofreader go back and have a look. Now, all of these things, generally developmental edit is more expensive, and then a copy or a line edit is a bit cheaper, and proofreading is a bit cheaper again. Of course, it can depend, because if you get a developmental edit and you go back and double the length of your book, then possibly, you know, you might need an extra line edit, or you might need a bit more work. So it is going to depend. But honestly, I would budget at least a few $1,000s for some high quality editing. You can get editing done cheaper, of course, like you can with anything, but do you want to sacrifice the quality of your book if you're going to use it as a tool in your business? You need book cover design. Don't DIY book cover design. Don't get it done on Fiverr, something that costs $10. Don't get something that looks crap, because then you look crap as well. Get something really, really good. And for that, again, you can get quotes, but I would put something away that's in around the hundreds. So, you know, 200, 300, 500 for a really top quality book cover design. And usually they'll do the interior as well, so that they do all the formatting of your print book and that sort of thing. So those are the absolute minimum costs. Now, remember, you also need to promote your book. Do you already have an audience? If not, are you going to be running ads? That's a whole nother thing, because running ads is a bit of a strategy if we're talking Facebook ads. But how are you going to be reaching your audience? How are you going to be marketing? How are you going to be building your reader base? If you want to sell copies of your book to make money with book sales, you need to be running ads on Amazon. Now, it's not as simple as that. They do need to be formatted correctly in terms of keywords. And when they get to your book, you do need to have reviews on there. So getting reviews, that's a whole another thing we'll talk about in another video. But you do need to factor in some money for advertising, and that can vary. You can set any budget you like, but factor in some money for advertising. So as I said, as an absolute minimum, you want to be doing editing, you want to be doing design, and those things are going to cost you money. So I would say if you have less than $5,000 to play with, I would really seriously reconsider writing a book as a tool in your business, because you want it to be high quality to get you the reputation that you are looking for. So from my view, writing a book is about raising your profile, raising, you know, your reputation, being seen as an expert, and you're not going to achieve that with something really poor quality. So those are the really basic things in terms of costs for your book. And of course, there's a million things you can spend money on, you know, in terms of promotion. You can definitely get a publicist and someone who helps you get speaking gigs. You can get someone to help with your ongoing marketing. You don't just want to write a book and then it's out there. You really want to keep using it. So, you know, there are people in my team who do ongoing marketing for, you know, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is that you need. Do you need a launch party? You know, are you trying to be a bestseller? There's a lot of things that can start throwing cost into the mix. When it comes to uploading, do you know how to upload onto the digital version and the print on demand version? If not, again, that's something you can get help with. So there are definitely costs that can be associated with your book. Reach out to me at any time if you want to know more, or if you've been thinking of writing a book and you just want to sort of brainstorm. But if you're a coach and you're charging $3,000 or $5,000 for a client, you know, even if you spent 5 or 10 on the book, you only need 2 clients to pay that back. But in the meantime, you've got this beautiful high quality book that you're always going to have. So message me, we can have a chat, and look forward to helping you with your book soon. Bye.